Welcome to Recap World. The story of Oz is one of perspective, shifting through the lens of history to reveal that the figures we thought we knew, the witches, the wizard, and the iconic companions of the Yellow Brick Road had lives far more complex than the legends suggest. To get everyone up to speed, we have to talk about where this journey first fractured. The first chapter concluded with Elphaba discovering that the wonderful wizard was actually a fraud and the architect of a campaign to strip animals of their rights. After a dramatic confrontation in the Emerald City, Elphaba chose to defy the regime, taking to the skies on an enchanted broom, while her best friend Glinda chose to stay behind. Branded a wicked witch by the propaganda of Madame Morrible, Elphaba flew toward the west, leaving the foundation of Oz forever changed. The true story begins with a birth in Munchkinland that should have been a celebration but instead became a scandal. The governor's wife, Melina, had an affair with a traveling salesman who offered her a mysterious green elixir. When Elphaba was born with emerald green skin, her father rejected her instantly, focusing all his affection on her younger sister, Nessarose, who was born with a physical disability. Years later at Shiz University, Elphaba's raw, uncontrolled magic caught the eye of the Dean of Sorcery, Madame Morrible. Despite a fierce rivalry with the popular Glinda Upland, the two were forced to room together, eventually forming a bond that defied their social differences. During their time at Shiz, they witnessed the growing persecution of talking animals, specifically their professor doctor, Dillamond, a goat who was forcibly removed from his post. It was this injustice that led Elphaba to seek out the wizard, only to realize he was the villain of the story, leading to her famous flight and the start of her life as a fugitive. Fast forward 5 years, and Oz is a completely different world. Elphaba is now a legendary vigilante, living as a ghost in the shadows and disrupting the wizard's operations to save persecuted animals. Meanwhile, Glinda has ascended to become the good spokesperson for the regime, traveling in a mechanical buggle gifted by the wizard to hide the fact that she lacks true magical power. Even the charming Prince Fiyero has a role to play, serving as the captain of the Gale Force while secretly using his position to help Elphaba from the inside. The political climate is suffocating, with the Yellow Brick Road being constructed through the forced labor of animals, highlighting the moral decay of the Emerald City. The narrative takes a tragic turn when Elphaba returns to Munchkinland to see her sister Nessarose, who is now the governor. In an attempt to help, Elphaba enchants Nessarose's silver slippers, giving her the ability to walk or even fly. However, this miracle backfires. When the Munchkin Bach tries to leave Nessarose because he no longer feels she needs his care, Nessa attempts to cast a love spell from Elphaba's Book of Enchantments, the Grimoire. The spell goes horribly wrong, shrinking Bach's heart and leaving him on the brink of death. To save him, Elphaba is forced to transform him into a man made of tin. Instead of being grateful, both Bach and Nessarose blame Elphaba for the tragedy, further cementing her wicked reputation in the eyes of the public. Driven by a need to expose the truth, Elphaba infiltrates the Emerald City to free the imprisoned animals, including a now silent doctor, Dillamond. Her mission interrupts the lavish on-screen wedding of Glinda and Fiyero. In a shocking move, Fiyero chooses to defect, helping Elphaba escape and finally professing his love for her. Seeing them together, a vengeful Glinda suggests that the wizard and Morrible use Nessarose as bait to lure Elphaba out of hiding. However, Madame Morrible takes it a step further. Realizing a simple rumor won't work, she uses her weather control magic to conjure a massive tornado. This isn't just any storm, it reaches across worlds to pull a house from Kansas into Oz, where it lands directly on Nessarose, killing her instantly. Glinda arrives to find Dorothy Gale in the wreckage and gives her the silver shoes, setting the girl from Kansas on the path to the Emerald City. Elphaba, arriving to find her sister dead and her shoes stolen, engages in a final emotional confrontation with Glinda. Before the wizard's guards can take her, Fiyero intervenes once more, sacrificing himself so Elphaba can escape to the castle of Kayamo-ko. As he is taken into a field and brutally beaten by the guards, Elphaba casts a desperate spell to make him impervious to pain. The enchantment works, but it has the unintended side effect of transforming Fiyero into a scarecrow. Believing she has failed everyone she loves and seeing the entire kingdom marching toward her castle, Elphaba decides to embrace her role as the villain to protect Glinda's future. At Kayamo-ko, Elphaba prepares for her final act. She reconciles with Glinda in a tearful farewell, entrusting her with the Grimoire and telling her to hide. When Dorothy Gale arrives and throws a bucket of water on her, Elphaba appears to melt away into nothingness. But it's all a ruse. She escapes through a trapdoor in the floor, leaving behind only her hat and the green elixir bottle. Glinda, believing her friend is gone, returns to the Emerald City to confront the wizard. She reveals the green bottle, and the truth finally comes out. The traveling salesman who gave the elixir to Elphaba's mother was the wizard himself. He is Elphaba's biological father and the reason for her immense power. Devastated by what he has done to his own daughter, the wizard is exiled, and Madame Morrible is arrested for her role in the tornado that killed Nessarose. The story concludes with a new era for Oz. Glinda assumes leadership, promising to rule with transparency and restoring rights to the animals. While the world celebrates the death of the Wicked Witch, Elphaba and the Scarecrow, who is really Fiyero, are reunited and escape into the lands beyond Oz, finally free from the labels of good and evil. In a final secret signal of their bond, as Glinda looks out from the palace balcony where she keeps the grimoire, Elphaba sends a wave of magic that causes the pages of the book to flutter, letting her friend know that she survived and is finally happy. If you found this chronological breakdown of the Wicked Saga helpful, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more narrative recaps. We dive deep into the most complex cinematic stories so you can stay ahead of the plot. Let us know in the comments which movie universe we should cover next, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.